Hi everybody, just want to go through my version of a Hobo stove. My version of a Hobo stove is not much dissimilar version to everybody else's. I've just adapted mine slightly to fit my needs. Firstly, my Hobo stove started off life as 1.7 litre thermos flask. Nothing too fancy about it, you can pick them up anywhere. I then proceeded to make the stove. Now, my stove comprises of 3 basic parts, no different to any of the other stoves, but because I chose to make mine from a 1.7 litre flask, it just gives you bigger capacity. So I can get roughly about, 2.5 large mugs of water in one boil. It's a dual fuel, obviously it run on wood chips, hexamine blocks, and it will run on penny stoves, which for any of you guys out there haven't come across the penny stove yet, it's basically made out of 2 Coke cans, well actually 1 Coke can, and I'll do another video to show you guys if anyone would like, personal message me and I'll do a video how to make one of these. Deadly simple, deadly cheap, and just runs on a bit of methylated spirits, so deadly easy. Now, going back to the Hobo stove, first thing I did was cut an aperture window. I used an angle grinder with a very, very thin blade for cutting metal. I then proceeded with a pillar drill to drill these holes, and there's 4 rings of these holes, 4 lines of these holes, shall I say. And what I also did was I drilled some bigger holes, and that's just for the air to get in to help the burn. And I drilled some bigger holes at the top, and I just found with these, when the inner pot sits in the top there, as so, it just gives it a bit of ventilation, so it helps to stop the smoke. And I found that worked very well for stopping the smoke. As you can appreciate, if you're in very sort of areas likely to sort of cause fire, you need to be careful because these bigger holes will allow a bit of fire to come through. One thing I find handy about the Hobo stove is you pop all the bits and pieces back inside of each other. This is a basic fire lighting kit that I've made. Nothing too strenuous, too out of the ordinary here. Fire piston, if I can get it open. This is a basic fire piston, bit of char cloth in there. Hit it, that comes out. It should be red hot and glowing, enough then ember to get a fire going. What else have we got here? Let's see, basic, cheap fire lighter. Windproof matches, blob of Vaseline. Now Vaseline's quite good because you can put that with a bit of tissue or a bit of fluff from your clothes, anything like that, and start a fire very easily. That will last a bit longer. There's some char cloth we made, and once again there's loads of people making char cloth, very simple process. You can find a lot of videos for that on YouTube. But just doing this video to show you guys at the AAoc my version of a Hobo stove, and like I said, the fact that it's versatile enough. Pop the inner can back in, a little bit of copper wire, pick the pot up. Now, wouldn't go anywhere with the Hobo stove without a pair of these. It's basic utility gloves, nothing too flash about these, but it just means get hold of the pot, lift it in and out, not a problem. I've kept the lid. This lid's a bit battered because I tried to get it so it would fit more snugly in the top. But the reason I keep that is so pop that in the top. If you're burning wood, you're burning hexamine blocks, you get a lot of soot, stuff coming off of it. Just keeps the bulk of it out of your water, like so. In with my kit, I also carry for the Hobo stove So a teaspoon for your sugar and your coffee, 2 tent pegs, 2 basic tent pegs, so they would go into the stove like so, and then like so. You'll find this is why there's a series of holes drilled on both sides. Don't have to be too accurate about these. Drop your pot on the top, fire in the bottom, hey presto. This is a butcher's hook I was given. I've used a grinder and ground the points off, and that would enable me to hang the pot above a fire, pick the pot out if I didn't want to put my gloves on. Very basic, and I just keep that in a piece of old t-shirt, so it allows me then to take all the bits and bobs out like so. Got a bit of cloth then to dry the pot out when I'm finished. Roll that up, stops it all jangling around. So if I just quickly pop all these bits and pieces back in here, don't even need to do that up. Stick that pot inside there. Your basic fire kit goes inside there again. That fixes in the top. Stops it, helps to stop it rattling around. It's not foolproof, but there's various guys on YouTube and on the internet making hobo stoves a lot more elaborate than this, possibly more functional, but plain, simple works for me. And all you would really need is a hacksaw, a file, and a drill with some drill bits, and obviously an old flask. I mean, these thermos flasks retail at about 20 something pound in the shop. You don't have to use, you know, a full size one. You can use a small flask, but I just found with the 1.7 litre, it gave you the sort of diameter of pot that just makes life easier all round. Like I said, I can get a couple of mugs full of water in there quite easy. I get my hand in there to clean it out. So you can do food, you know, basic foods in there if you wanted, soup, anything like that. So I just want something I can get my hand in, clean. And mine's all covered in soot from some pine I was burning in the bottom just to do as a basic boiling test. But I've used hexamine blocks in this numerous times, leaves, twigs, you know, all the rest of it, and it seems to do the job really, really well. Boil a couple of mugfuls of water, you know, 8 to 10 minutes, if that, really. Works very well. So, cup of tea, cup of coffee out on the go. And like I said, I just stock mine in basic Webtex bottle bag. And I always make sure if I go out and about for a long day, walking the dogs, just out and about myself, I always chuck this in the bottom of my pack. A little bit of tea and coffee, which you could also stow inside the hobo stove. So pretty much, you know, bottle of water, that's all you need. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, once again, you can personal message me. If anyone interested in seeing a video on the old penny stove, like I said, just burns on methylated spirits or surgical spirits, anything like that, just personal message me. But there is guys out there doing the videos for them already. But if you'd like, I'll do a basic video with all the measurements on. So